Why do you suffer for the knife someone else is holding? If they cut you once, why do you keep replaying the pain 1,000 times in your mind? The wound is not in your body, it is in your memory. And that is in your control. People will hurt you. That is a certainty. Some will betray, some will lie, and some will break you in ways you never imagine. But tell me, when someone pushes you into fire, do you stand there and let it burn you? Or do you step away? Most people, they don't step away. They hold on to their pain like a trophy, showing it to the world, nurturing it, feeding it. And then they ask, why am I suffering? But suffering is a choice. And today, I will give you 5 ways to handle people who hurt you without letting their poison become yours. You sit there, replaying the moment over and over in your mind. The words they said, the betrayal they inflicted, the pain they caused. And in the midst of your suffering, you whisper to yourself, they should apologize. You wait. You imagine the day they finally realize what they've done. You picture them walking towards you, eyes filled with regret, saying, I was wrong. I hurt you. Please forgive me. And you think that when this happens, you will finally feel free. You will finally heal. But what if I told you that day may never come? What if I told you that the person who hurt you is sleeping peacefully while you stay up all night, drowning in thoughts of justice and fairness? What if I told you that your need for their apology is not healing you? It is holding you hostage. Think about it. How many moments of your life have you wasted waiting for someone else to validate your pain? How many days have you allowed their absence to control your presence? But let me ask you something deeper. Why do you think you need an apology to move on? Is it because you believe that if they admit their mistake, it will fix what was broken? Is it because you think that hearing the words, I'm sorry, will erase the wound they left behind? Let me break this illusion. Even if they apologize, will it undo what has been done? Will their words have the power to rewrite the past? No, the damage is already there. The pain was already inflicted. Then why give them so much power over your healing? Life does not wait for apologies. The sun does not ask the clouds to move before it shines. The river does not seek permission to flow. And you, my friend, do not need someone else's regret to set yourself free. Consider this. How many times have you hurt someone unintentionally? How many moments in life have you been the villain in someone else's story without realizing it? And even when you did, even when you regretted it, did your apology truly erase their pain? Or did it just serve as a bandage over a wound that still had to heal on its own? This is the truth. Healing is not about receiving an apology. Healing is about realizing that you don't need one. The moment you stop waiting, the moment you let go of this invisible contract that you have made with them, something powerful happens. You take back your power. You break the chains that were never really locked. You must understand, not everyone who hurts you will see their mistake. Not everyone who wrongs you will feel guilt. Some people will move on with their lives as if nothing happened, while you sit in the prison of resentment, holding on to a key that was always in your hands. So I ask you, how much longer will you wait? How many sunrises will you miss? How many moments of laughter will you suppress? How many beautiful days will you ruin because you are still waiting for a moment that may never come? Imagine this. There is a man walking through a marketplace. Someone pushes him and he stumbles. He turns around expecting an apology, but the person who pushed him is long gone, lost in the crowd. Now he has a choice. He can stand there looking for the stranger, demanding an apology that may never come, or he can brush off the dust and keep walking. Which one do you think is wiser? The same applies to life. Some people who push you will never turn around. Some people who break you will never look back. And some people who wound you will never come to heal you. But why should that stop you from moving forward? Do you want to be the one who waits? Or do you want to be the one who rises? Every moment you wait for an apology, you are delaying your own growth. You are postponing your joy. You are standing still while the world keeps moving. But the moment you say, I do not need their words, I do not need their guilt, I do not need anything from them to move forward, that is the moment you become free. Because in the end, the greatest revenge is not in hearing, I'm sorry. The greatest revenge is in not needing to hear it at all. Someone hurt you, they lied, betrayed, humiliated, or abandoned you. And now their actions live in your mind, playing on repeat like a broken record. You wake up thinking about it, you go to bed thinking about it. And every free moment in between, their words echo inside you like a poison you can't spit out. But tell me, who is truly suffering now? They have moved on. They are laughing, eating, living their lives without a second thought about you. Yet, here you are, still carrying the weight of their darkness. They poured poison into your cup, but instead of throwing it away, you're drinking it every single day. Now, ask yourself, who is really at fault? Them for giving it to you, or you for continuing to consume it? It is easy to blame the one who hurt you, but blaming them does nothing. Will your pain lessen if they feel guilty? Will your wounds heal if they cry for you? No. Their regret, if it ever comes, does not take away the damage. And that is where most people go wrong. They believe that by holding on to resentment, by replaying the pain, they are punishing the one who hurt them. But in truth, they're only punishing themselves. Imagine this, someone throws a rock at you. It hits you and it hurts. Now you have two choices. You can drop the rock and focus on healing your wound, or you can pick up the rock, carry it everywhere, and let it weigh you down for the rest of your life. Which one makes more sense? Yet people do the second thing every day. They collect the stones of betrayal, the bricks of anger, and the heavy chains of resentment, and then they wonder why they feel so exhausted, so broken, so lost. Do you not see? You are not carrying their actions. You are carrying your reaction. The poison is not in what they did. The poison is in what you continue to think about what they did. Let's say you walk into a room full of toxic gas. The air is poisoned. It burns your throat, stings your eyes, makes it hard to breathe. Would you stand there and complain about the air? Would you scream about how unfair it is that someone filled the room with poison? Or would you simply walk out? You see, in life, people will always try to poison you with their hate, their betrayal, their negativity. But you do not have to breathe it in. You do not have to keep standing in that room. When someone breaks you, you have two options. You can become like them, or you can rise above them. Most people choose the first without even realizing it. They think, I will never be like them. But slowly their heart becomes hard. They start treating others with the same distrust, the same bitterness. The pain they receive, they now pass on. The child who grows up in a house full of anger shouts at his own children. A woman who was betrayed by love stops believing in love altogether. A man who was cheated in business starts cheating others to survive, and just like that, the cycle continues. The poison spreads, the darkness grows. But you have the power to stop it. If someone lied to you, let them keep their lies. You stay truthful. If someone broke your trust, let them carry their dishonesty. You remain sincere. If someone tried to drag you down, let them sink alone. You rise. Because the moment you allow their darkness to change your light, they have won. Think of a river. It does not stop flowing just because someone throws dirt into it. It does not refuse to move forward just because obstacles are placed in its path. The river simply finds another way, a new path, and keeps moving towards the ocean. Be that river. Let them throw their dirt. Let them build their obstacles. Let them do whatever they want. You, my friend, will keep flowing. Because in the end, the greatest power is not in how much you can hurt someone back. The greatest power is in how untouchable you become. They expect you to react. They want you to scream, to cry, to break down, to show them that their words, their betrayal, their cruelty had power over you. They want to see proof that they still control your emotions. But what happens when you don't give them that satisfaction? What happens when you simply stay silent? That is when they start to fear you. Because nothing disturbs a person more than realizing they no longer have access to your emotions. Nothing unsettles them more than knowing they did everything they could to hurt you, yet you remain untouched, unshaken, unmoved. Silence is not weakness, silence is strategy. People think revenge is about proving a point, about making sure the other person suffers as much as they made you suffer. But real revenge is when they expect war and you don't even acknowledge their existence. Imagine this, someone spreads lies about you, they try to ruin your reputation, they do everything in their power to bring you down. They're waiting, watching, hoping for a reaction. And yet, you continue living, you continue succeeding, you continue smiling as if they never even existed. What do you think happens to them? They burn. They burn in the fire of their own frustration. Because your silence is a mirror. And in that mirror, they see their own powerlessness. They see that no matter how much they try to shake you, you are still standing. People thrive on attention. They feed off your anger. They grow stronger when you respond. But when you withdraw, when you go silent, they are left with nothing but their own emptiness. Think of a lion. Does a lion stop to bark back at dogs? No. It walks on, unbothered, knowing that its presence alone is enough. Now think of yourself. How many times have you wasted your energy trying to defend yourself to people who don't even deserve an explanation? How many times have you lowered yourself to respond to those who are beneath you? The moment you understand this, you become dangerous. You stop justifying yourself. You stop proving your worth. You stop wasting words on people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You become a storm, silent, powerful, unstoppable. There is a reason why the most powerful moments in life happen in silence. When someone insults you and you just smile. When someone tries to provoke you and you walk away. When someone betrays you and instead of begging for an explanation, you disappear from their life without a single word. That silence, that absence, that indifference, that is what destroys them. Because they were prepared for a fight, they were prepared for drama, for shouting, for chaos, but they were not prepared for your silence. Do you know why? Because silence is proof that you have risen above them. It is proof that they are no longer important enough to deserve your energy. And when someone realizes they no longer have access to you, mentally, emotionally, physically, that is when they truly understand what loss feels like. So the next time someone tries to pull you into their storm, do not fight them. Do not explain yourself. Do not justify your actions. Just smile, turn around, and let your silence do the talking. Forgiveness is not about them, it is about you. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness, from the endless cycle of anger, from the weight of carrying their mistakes on your shoulders. But forgiveness does not mean blindness. It does not mean forgetting what they did or pretending it never happened. Forgiveness is wisdom. It is looking at the wound, understanding how it happened, and making sure you never let it happen again. People will tell you, just let it go. But letting go does not mean being foolish. A snake that bites you once will bite you again if you keep holding it close. You can forgive the snake for being what it is, but that does not mean you offer it your hand a second time. Some people think forgiveness is weakness. They think it is about accepting the wrong and allowing it to continue. But no, real forgiveness is power. Because only the strong have the ability to forgive. The weak hold on to grudges, not realizing they are drinking their own poison. Imagine someone betrays you. They lie to you, they break your trust. They hurt you in ways you never thought possible. You can hold on to that pain, replay it in your mind 1,000 times, let it consume you. Or you can look at it, learn from it, and move forward with a heart that is wiser, not weaker. Because the truth is, every pain comes with a lesson. Some people come into your life as a blessing, others come as a lesson. And the biggest mistake you can make is treating a lesson like a blessing. Think of fire. Fire can burn you, but it also teaches you. The first time you touch it, you feel the pain. The second time, you remember the pain. And because of that memory, you do not make the same mistake again. But what if you forget? What if every time you get burned, you tell yourself, it's okay, I'll just forget this ever happened. And then you go right back to touching the fire again and again. That is not forgiveness. That is foolishness. Forgiving does not mean you stop feeling the pain. It means you stop letting the pain control you. It means you take the lesson and move forward with clarity, not with resentment. There are people who will apologize, but their apology is just a tool. It is not regret. It is a way to pull you back in. If you forgive and forget, they will do it again. Not because they are stronger, but because you refuse to learn. You have to remember that not everyone deserves a second chance. A person who truly regrets their actions will change. They will show you, not with words, but with consistency, with effort, with real change. But a person who only regrets losing control over you will act the same way once they think they have you back. So, forgive. Forgive for your own peace. Forgive because holding on to hatred will only damage your own soul. But never ever forget the lesson.